Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Let's Talk Learn Tech podcast with me, your host Pranjalee. With me today is Vivek Garg, AVP Learning Solutions, Dhananjay Panchal, Project Manager, and Apurva Halake, Business Analyst Manager. COVID-19 has created a new normal, not just for individuals, but for businesses across industries and countries alike. It has brought about digital transformation at scale, compelling companies to transition their workforce to remote working, adopt new processes and digital tools to operate and sustain their business. All of which calls for a relook at the employee training and learning and development strategy. So let's get to the meat of the matter.
Vivek, how has this new normal or the new order impacted the L&D function?
So this has been very interesting. And one thing is very clear now, post-COVID-19, there would be a paradigm shift in the way the world learns. There would be major changes in concepts and practices in people management processes. In fact, the entire world would be recalibrated in terms of digital workplaces that covers education as well as corporate businesses both. Most of the organizations by now have realized that digital learning will enhance people productivity. Though it has been accepted by force, not by choice as of now, but moving ahead, they strongly believe there is no escape and digital learning needs to be in manifesto of their digital workplaces. In fact, there has been a lot of serious discussions going on, and most of the people-centric organizations are planning to implement digital learning platforms, and now they understand use of tools like Teams, Zoom doesn't mean a digital workplace. These tools need to be supported by digital technology stack that integrates with corporate business systems like HRMS, etc. For data and information exchange to harness the power of learning technologies.
Understood, Vivek. So it's clear that digital learning will be a key factor into the productivity of the people. But Dhananjay, I want to come to you, and because you work with our customers, how do you think this has impacted our existing customers in terms of them requesting for more off-the-shelf courses perhaps? Or do you see the usage of the platform itself has escalated? What are your views?
Yeah, definitely, Pranjalee. This new normal has really impacted the entire L&D ballgame, I would say. It is more now, L&D partners have become very, very much aggressive. Our clients have become aggressive. They want to understand more about off-the-shelf courses, and they want to understand more about how online training can be done. So it is, I would say, definitely there is a remarkable increase in our entire onboarding processes and also on the licenses part. And if I have to say on off-the-shelf courses, so now they are very curious and they are finding time to understand how things can be taken ahead online.
Dhananjay, I want to dig a bit deeper into this. So, of course, there's going to be an increase in off-the-shelf courses because people, as Vivek said, there is going to be an increase in the digital training or digital learning required. Yeah. But what do you think on the usage front as well? Do you think there has been a change in how the platform was used previously to the COVID days and how it is now? Or are the same features are still in use, but the usage has increased? What are your views on that?
Currently, the same features are being used, but there is definitely an increase in accessing the platform. Before, people were kind of laid back, but now they have become very aggressive. Like, at least in this COVID situation, work from home kind of environment, they are more over to take training other than their day job. So that is what we have observed. And also considering on the platform usage, yes, definitely it has boosted a lot. I would say almost 60% utilization has increased on the platform.
For me, agile and aggressive are two of the keywords which rightly summarize how the entire digital transformation has been. But I also think adapting to this new normal is easier said than done because all of us are wading through these uncharted waters. We're using technology we never had to. We're doing things in a way we never done before. So skilling, as Vivek and you both mentioned, skilling, there is organization-wide transformation training, both technical, non-technical. These are not just good to have, but they are mandatory for digital transformation today. Now, this brings me to the next question. Vivek, I'll go to you. Are there any sought after skills that organizations are looking for?
I strongly believe that post COVID-19, there would be tremendous pressure on organizations as well as individuals to perform extremely well. Every individual needs to be tuned to their skills and expertise levels to give their best. Every individual skills will be validated through the digital system instead of certifying their skill levels by humans. And organizations would need the quality learning content either in-house developed or curated from external sources. Organizations will have to empower their employees with user-driven content to reskill, upskill, cross-skill themselves. And this can only be done by implementing learning platforms. As I said earlier, learning systems need to be integrated with business applications to map employees' skill metrics. And let me give you an example. Use of plethora digital learning platform loaded with numerous learning content. This platform will equip learning and development heads to choose skill-based content for their employees and create personalized learning paths to maximize their performance.
You're right. I think skills like digital communication, time management, leadership even means managing your own self. All of these are important because, as I said, we are in an uncharted territory, all of us together. So how to deal with each other, even have the same communication perhaps, which could have been had face-to-face, now has a digital transformation too. So it's important to have all of these skills, whether they are user-driven or they are admin-aside, into the learning path for every organization. Apurva, coming to you, how do you think this has impacted the learning management platform? Are there any in-demand functions or modules in LMS that people are using nowadays?
Yes. So, as you can see, there are organizations who are trying every possible ways of trainings that can be delivered to the people. And now saying that classroom trainings are somewhere sidetracked, virtual classrooms and e-learning and mobile learning are gaining grounds here. So now people are more inclined towards having integrations with different virtual classroom platforms, like we have Google Meet, we have MS Teams, Zoom, and they're also leaning towards having mobile applications. Now, when it comes to all these kinds of trainings and applications, the most important factor over here becomes how to engross your learners in the e-learning platform. So most of the times that AI-powered engines, AI recommendations, and then gamifications are taking their place over here. So people are looking for the systems where they can have their users directed towards what training they want really easy, in an easy way. And then they can add some kind of simulations, have some gamification points so that they can engage their learners and they can promote this kind of training. Because you see, most of the people are used to classroom training sessions, and then now most of the people are working from home, and then they have to take this kind of virtual classroom sessions. Then the organizations have to enroll their learners over there. So if you can see from learning management platforms, there's virtual classrooms, mobile learning, AI-powered engines, simulations and gamifications are now becoming more of a broader picture.
You raise a very valid point, Apurva. What happened, in my opinion, is also that most organizations that were dependent on ILT or face-to-face classroom training, for them, this became an even bigger change. They had to not just now move their classrooms to a digital avatar, but they had to also ensure that they had sustainable learning and development for everyone. And because social distancing, in a way, does not allow us to be physically present in each other's environment, things like gamification or something like a social learning platform or a tool within an LMS which allows everyone to collaborate and be present, although virtually, are going to be key. It has a lot of hidden and very explicit advantages too. Dhananjay, what do you think are the benefits of digital transformation or the digital push for businesses with respect to the training, capability development, and everything that we see in digital learning?
What I feel is due to this digital transformation, basically the expenses that they used to put in for classroom training, for logistics, there are a lot of involvement like stationery and everything has just gone away. And also the accessibility of the platform, that everyone is now aware what online platforms are, and everyone has become so tech friendly that it has really become easy for them to, just invest more on something like this. And if you look at the longevity of it, it is definitely going to be beneficial because people have moved to technology now. They are very open to their mobile apps and they have an awareness or they are keen to explore those options. And if I have to say more on it, definitely for L&D, it has become more easy because the processes and everything has just streamlined. I would say everything is documented, everything we have reports in the platform, so everything is much more organized rather than having a lot of manual work, updating Excel sheets. I know how difficult that is. And collating all this together and putting forward to the management as a dashboard or something, that was very difficult before the digital transformation. But with tools and with strong engines in the LMS, it definitely helps them to create dashboards and get a understanding of entire training that they do in just one click.
Absolutely. Along with cost savings and streamlining of processes, there is an increased reach and scale. Organizations are now able to reach learners at scale, which they were perhaps not able to do at the same scale in a classroom training avatar. Vivek, can you share some examples of our customers, whether new or existing, that are adopting digital, and what are the current pain points and benefits that they are looking to solve with this piece?
See, clients we onboarded recently, they have realized the power of digital learning. And L&D has come a long way in a short span of time. And thanks to digital technology, I would say. And they are moving away from a concept of one size fits to all to more personalized learning to create the need of diversified employees. Digital learning boosts purely, I would strongly believe, digital learning boosts the morale of employees as it provides extended career skills. Now the organizations empower their employees to upskill or cross-skill their staff to widen their career opportunities within the organization. So just to add a little humor, I heard like two CEOs talking to each other. A CEO tells, what if you train the staff and they leave? Another CEO replies, what if you do not train and they stay back? So I believe digital learning can stop brain drain as employees will get ample opportunities and can realize their career goals at the same workplace. Everybody is realizing actually, like a lot of benefits are there, like better accessibility. You can access the training content anywhere, anytime. Personalized learning rather than, as I said, one size fits to all. So everybody is moving away from them. Learning consistency, savings on travel cost, simplified learning processes, and of course scalability. So these are a couple of reasons which forces organizations to implement digital learning.
Agreed, and I think the benefits outweigh anything else, which is why there is a tremendous increase in demand too, which again, in my opinion, is great for the learning service industry, but it's also putting pressure on providers. And Dhananjay, I want to talk to you. I want to understand how this, from your experience particularly, how has this changed client expectations from us? How has this impacted our delivery approach?
Definitely, this has impacted our entire process life cycle. Actually, this now learning industry has become so reactive and everything they want so urgently. We have, just to share an example with you, last month we have almost onboarded 3-4 clients, just a turnaround time of 2 weeks, which is such a difficult thing. I mean, because they were in so much of a rush to launch a new platform and they don't want the training to stop. So this has really overall impacted our timeline. And yes, nowadays when it comes to having something digital, everyone wants everything instant. So everyone has this space up to modify themselves or adapt themselves to this new changes. And thus we will also have to, because eventually we have to deliver, or if we have to meet client expectations, we have to also pace up.
Understood. But I think the shrinking timelines are understandable and justified to a large extent. See, for every organization that has been put on this digital path, for them, they have to do something for the employees right now. There is no way they can bargain on time front. I don't think it's a flexibility or a leverage that anyone has. So yes, there's going to be a shrinking timeline. You may also have cases where there is a frozen cash flow because the current cash flow situations have put a pressure on every side of the business. Apurva, coming to you, Because you work on the product roadmap, what do you think has changed on the roadmap for us? Do you think there is a change in the feature set, any modules that require priority development? What's happening?
So now understanding what the market needs and how our clients are conducting their trainings, we have brought in some very good features in our LMS, and also we have a good roadmap and we have some good features in line. So like I said, since everyone is moving to AI-based recommendation engine, so what we have is like we have improvised our UI, we have a more engaging UI, and we have also worked on the algorithms which are used to display the content to the learners. Like whatever content is been assigned to the user or whatever content they are supposed to take. So we are more focusing on that. So whenever the user comes in the system, he has whatever he wants right in front of him and he can immediately start his learning. Okay, now most of the people, as I said, are not comfortable with like mobile learning or CE learning. So this is how we can like enroll them and make it easy for them to understand the system as well as they can go on with their learning. Now on the mobile app front also, we are planning for certain enhancements. We are allowing them to take some of their PDFs or videos which can be like downloaded and they can view when offline. Okay, so we are giving them more options. We are giving them more flexibility to do their training using the mobile application. And like because today the most of the clients are inclined towards using the virtual classroom sessions. So we have this Zoom integration, we have this Google Meet integration and MS Teams integration in our roadmap, so that we can provide as much as possible tools to the clients so that they can like go on easily with their training. That's what we have like in plan in gist.
So Apurva, do you think digital transformation in a way has put spotlight on AI, mobile, particularly? I understand VC or virtual classroom has been in play. Many organizations have adopted and are using virtual classroom successfully, but AI and mobility are fairly new. How do you think it has impacted these two in particular?
Yeah, so see, when any organization plans, so this was quite an unplanned move for most of the organizations to go digital, right? And then their learners were not ready for it. So they have to build in one comfortable environment for their learners, a comfortable system. So with these AI-powered engines and all, they make it very easy for the learners to understand. So the learners don't panic. They get what they want. They can increase their learning time in that. And also coming to mobile application, you see that nowadays we have lots of these mobile apps which are like providing our ease to access on anything that we can like say. So even for e-learning, if we have mobile applications, then on-the-go learner, like people can take their trainings, like maintain their compliances and all. So I think yes, AI and mobile applications are specifically gaining importance in this period.
Agreed. I think putting the learners in the driver's seat gives them accountability and authority of their own career progress. Also, learning in the flow of work, something that mobile apps do beautifully, puts learning in another gear. Apurva, I want you to continue talking, but this time, are there any best practices or tips for companies that they can keep in mind when they're transitioning to digital learning? And the reference could be if they had a pretty traditional learning structure and they're now moving to digital.
Yes, like as I said, like transition to digital learning is quite challenging, especially when it is unplanned and it is so sudden. So obviously, the companies or the organization has to take care of how can they smoothly or seamlessly get this into the veins of their learners, the digital learning thing. Now they are continuously looking for some new options. So they need to look out from new technologies or whatever options are available in the market through which they can provide the training to their learners. Like then they have this kind of digital learning assets, what they call, which are like micro videos. So rather than having big sessions or big videos, they can have these micro videos, PDFs, ebooks installed so that the learners keep on taking their trainings in chunks. Also, they have this forgetting curve. So whenever there is a classroom session, we intend to learn more or remember more things. But when it comes to virtual sessions, the forgetting curves become more crucial over here. So they have to do some kind of spaced over time training, which means they need to conduct the small training chunks after every, say, month or week, so that there is a continuous learning over there. And just to understand that how learners are finding their e-learning modules or their e-learning platforms, they need to continuously take feedbacks from them. So they need to have some good surveying and assessment reports and modules in their systems, so that they can regularly get feedback from the learners, so that it helps them improvise whatever, what we can say, tools and applications they're using to provide this training. So I think these are the main points that any organization should consider for an effective e-learning.
Understood, Apurva. Vivek, do you have any other best practices that you can add to the list that Apurva shared?
See, as I said earlier, the entire world will be recalibrated post-COVID-19 in terms of like the way the world learns. Given current situation, digital learning will no longer be a choice. It would be a part of every organization's digital workplace strategy. And digital learning will not be tagged as good to have, which has been the case earlier. Rather, it would be recognized as must to have. I have witnessed adoption and usage of learning technologies grew in multiple folds during last 1 decade. Now, every organization will have to identify the most effective way to implement digital learning technology for their dynamic and ever-demanding young force. One thing, every organization will have to be very careful in terms of devising the best way to distribute the learning content. And most of the learning content has to be available across the devices, as Apurva said, including smartphones for better usage and content consumption.
My summarization of this conversation is that COVID-19 has indeed put digital transformation in motion, and underpinning the success of this digital transformation is digital learning. Again, digital learning needs to have a strategy. It needs to be well planned. It needs to not just cover the technology, but also the content or the training materials that the learners will be consuming. All right, let's switch gears, guys, and have some fun. So we are going to play a quick round of rapid fire. I'm going to give each one of you a sentence that you have to complete in the way that you deem best fit with respect to digital learning. Are you guys ready?
Oh, yep.
Yes.
All right, Apurva, I'm going to start with you. Your sentence is, the coronavirus pandemic has, please complete the sentence.
It has impacted our traditional learning ways in a very good way.
All right. Vivek, COVID-19 has taught all businesses to be dash.
We need to be digital ready. Otherwise, we people will be left behind. And that is what we have seen earlier.
Okay. Dhananjay, digital learning in the new order is, complete the sentence.
I would say a boon to the learning industry.
All right, that's all from our side. We would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. Thank you for listening, you all. See you next month.